Hello, I'm James and thanks for joining me on Kalkine TV for Smart Market Insights. Australians are struggling with the higher cost of living, with rising postal costs also being the newest addition to the list. Amidst the backdrop of soaring inflation, rising interest rates and power outages, the Australian population now must also endure high postal costs. Concerns have surfaced as Australia Post, Australia's largest postal network, announced an increase in its surcharge. Earlier, standing at a value of 0%, the surcharge has now been set at 7.9% for July. Much like Australia Post's move, TNT Express has also applied a surcharge of 28.6%, whilst Toll Group has set up a surcharge of 33.19% for proprietary shipments. Higher postal costs have added to the existing inflationary pressures seen across the country. Much of these inflationary concerns are tied to international factors that may not see a resolution anytime soon. Higher costs of fuel emanating from the Russia-Ukraine war are at the heart of the current problem. Earlier this year, the chief executive of Australia Post forecasted that costs of shipping goods are set to rise in the later part of the year. The reason cited was the rising inflation stemming from COVID-19 and, of course, the Russia-Ukraine war. However, the problems have only accelerated with time, and the country is in a much deeper crisis now. Rising prices have threatened economic growth, landing a hard blow on households. Rising interest rates depict that the economy is in a transitional phase, with many facing the financial crunch. The main reason for the current increase in surcharge rates is rising fuel costs, and the Morrison government had promised a fuel excise cut, which came at the cost of transport companies. Of course, the Morrison government has since been deposed. The tax cut was funded by removing the fuel tax credit for transport companies. However, this removal of the fuel tax credit has meant that postal companies are now increasing their surcharge rates. Higher costs were passed on to retailers and customers, contributing to higher inflation. Postal services are facing dire circumstances due to mounting supply chain snags across the globe. The global supply network has been significantly hampered, leading to shipment delays and rising transport costs. Australia Post saw declining profits due to slower business and declining retail conditions. However, profits are expected to bounce back by the end of this year. There are many associated problems with postal services in a high inflation environment. For example, every time the delivery package is not received on the first attempt, additional fuel and transport costs are required to fulfil a second attempt at delivering the parcel. The government also needs to introduce a more efficient and cost-effective system. The government could consider alternate routes of transportation that are more environmentally friendly. Additionally, centralised dropping points in apartment buildings or office buildings allow for lesser wastage of fuel. These small efforts can indeed help to create a better outlook for Australian consumers and the economy, and potentially help to stave off those rising cost of living concerns. Alright, that's all for this edition of Smart Market Insights. Another episode coming your way tomorrow. Until then, make sure to keep it locked here on Kalkine TV for the latest market insights and business news. I'm James, signing off for now.